Hello guys, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. If you're just seeing my face and you like it already, or you like my personality or content, don't forget to hit the subscribe icon down there and join the video, okay? So today I'm going to be addressing in fact one of the most requested videos in my private chats, in my DMs. A lot of people come up to me and say, Neze, could you please advise me on in-law wahala, how to have a good relationship with your in-laws? Listen guys, in every marriage, it is very important to have an amazing relationship with your in-laws. Even if you don't have that blues, that's over the board sweet relationship with your mother-in-law, just as I have with mine, it's very important to have at least a cordial, warm and friendly relationship, at least on that level. It will not do you or your marriage or your husband or your family any good for you to be at loggerheads with your in-laws. So you have to try as much as possible, to the extent that it is possible for you, to make that relationship at least pleasant. I'm sure you guys know about my fantastic relationship with my own mother-in-law, with my own sister-in-laws. I have 3 sister-in-laws, and we are like this. I and my sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law. For a good relationship to flourish, it needs to be watered, it needs to be, you know, it needs to be nurtured. You don't just leave relationships. If you leave relationships, they're like plants, they will die. So today I'm going to be telling you guys ways, tips that you should know on how to have and maintain an amazing and fantastic relationship with your in-laws. Whether you're single or you're married, you need this video. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. My number 1 tip to having a fantastic relationship with your in-laws is you shouldn't try ostracizing a man from his family because they are married. Many of we women hide behind the Bible quotation that a man shall leave his family and cling to his wife. Please, this verse has been subject to a lot of misinterpretation. A man shall leave his family does not mean that he should forsake his family. Does not mean that he should sever the bond he has with his family. Now you new brides just come into a family and you just want to change everything overnight. You drop the family name, that name that the family is known by, for no good reason. You just drop the name. You want to answer your husband's first name. Your children bear John Paul, Kelvin Peter. You drop the family name wrong. Okay, fine, nobody's going to eat you about that. You start planting seeds of discord and suspicion in that family. Now you're married into a family where they are closely knitted. There's some families where they are closely knitted. Brothers are like this, sisters are like this. Now maybe you are coming from a diabolic family, or a family of witchy, where they poison one another. You now bring this evil and weird mentality into your husband's house, and now start planting seeds of suspicion. Don't eat in your brother's household. Don't take that thing your sister gave you. Don't do this. My children will not go and sleep in the house. You start planting enmity. If your husband's elder brother corrects him, you start complaining that he's controlling him. No, you are going to attract enmity and hatred from that family. And even I, as a mom that have 3 boys, that I'm raising my sons to be very, very close, to love one another, I can imagine how crazy I'll feel when a girl comes in and wants to separate them and wants to start planting seeds of enmity between my boys. There's no way I'm going to love or accept that girl, and so wouldn't you. So when you're married into a family, if there's any family tradition that is being practiced that is not harmful, some families, every December, all the families come together, they celebrate together, they eat together, they do it, maybe just a family gathering together, or they have a family prayer together or something, and you come in, you want to stop that, you want to bring your own laws, fine, you come with your own laws, but that does not mean that you cannot blend into some of their own laws. Life is all about maturity and understanding. You cannot just come and it will be so obvious that as you came, everything has stopped. They don't see their brother, the brother does not call them, nothing. You know, you just ostracize the man and make him a stranger to his family. No family will accept such a woman. So let us learn to, as we start our family, let us learn to carry our husbands' families along. It will go a long way in creating a good relationship with your in-laws. The second tip I have for you guys is Watch how you treat your husband in the presence of his family. I know that both of you are best friends, you are BFFs, you are Bonnie and Clyde, you are Beyonce and Jay-Z. That is between both of you. But when you are in the presence of a man's family, or you're in the presence of a man's mother, you have to treat that man with respect. You have to treat him like a king. You have to treat him like the alpha male. You cannot just go about slapping his head or calling him mumu and say you are joking. No. The mother might not appreciate that kind of a joke. Every mother loves to see that her son is well catered to, is well respected, is well taken care of by his wife. So when you, I'm not saying you should pretend. It's not about pretense. It's about applying wisdom and discretion. When both of you are alone in the room, you can make silly jokes. You can even wear him G-string and make him to do a pole dance for you. That is both of you. But when you are in public, in front of his family, in front of his mother, you have to accord your husband some certain level of respect. There's some words, there's some jokes, there's some actions that you shouldn't take in public. So the family would not see you as riding the man or demonizing him, or subjugating him, or making him feel less than the man. Fine. No woman, no mother loves to see that her son has turned to a dundee because of a wife. Let your husband have that respect, that prestige in front of his family when you are with them. That way, they will love and cherish you as the woman who has high regard for their son or their brother. My number 3 tip is, do not be a fault finder. There's some women that all they care about is to pick holes and find faults in the families of their husbands. Your mother did this, your mother didn't do this, your mother shouldn't have said this, your mother shouldn't have entered there, your mother shouldn't have eaten that, your sister didn't call me when I had whitlow, you're this, you're that. Always picking faults. You should strive towards seeing the good in your in-laws. It is not every issue that must be addressed. You have to form the habit of overlooking. It's not as long as it's not a serious issue that will put your marriage or your children in jeopardy. Learn to let go. Do not be a fault finder. Because sometimes, many of these men don't even know how to present their words. There's a way a man will talk to his mother that it will be so obvious that these words are coming from his wife. Yes, mothers know. Mothers know these things. A mother knows her child very well, in and out. There's a way a man will start relaying some messages to his sisters or his mother, and it will be so obvious that he's being pushed or influenced by his wife. So you should learn to overlook things. Ask yourself, your parents, for those that have parents that are still married. My parents, for example, have been married for over 35 years, but sometimes they disagree. Sometimes we, the children, are even the ones that will come in and even try to patch things up for them. Yeah. So if they have been married for 35 years and they are still disagreeing, that's to tell you that human beings must disagree. At the workplace, there's disagreements. In the home, even you and that your beloved husband, there's sometimes that you guys disagree and you look at him like, what the hell was I thinking marrying this man? Was I out of my mind? Was I drunk? Do you understand? So if you can disagree with your husband, why won't you disagree with your sister-in-law or your mother-in-law? There will definitely be times that they will do things that are not too pleasant to you. Learn to tolerate. Learn to overlook. It's not every issue that must be addressed. It's not every issue that you must complain. Be less confrontational. If it's a serious issue, then you can address it. But if it's a minor issue, do not sweat the small stuff. Okay? Let's go to number 4. Number 4, do not be the reason why a man would neglect his mother. Do not be the reason why your husband would neglect his family. Now, there are some women, there are some husbands that have to hide to send their mothers money. Do you know that? Are you a witch? You mean the woman that trained this man, made him the human being that he is today, that is presentable enough to marry? If he was a dustbin packer, would you have married him? This is the woman that groomed him to be that individual that he is, that made you attracted to him. He now has to hide to take care of his mother. Don't you know that you are going to be a mother-in-law someday? As long as a man is taking care of you and your children and is discharging his responsibilities at home, why would you stop him from taking care of his family? If he has a sister, a younger sister that still needs assistance, why must you come in the way of that assistance? In fact, you are the one, as a prudent woman, you are the one that should even remind your husband not to forget his family. You ask him, have you called your elder sister this month? Check up on her. Send Mopsy something. Do you understand? You should be that wife. These parents, these in-laws, they know when their wife, when a woman is making their son to be good to them. Now you have a man that is taking care of his family. He has the means to do that. He's taking care of his mother, his sister, one or two siblings. Additional responsibility might make it not to be as much as he was doing. But at all, nothing bad. If the man just stops doing everything from his family, it becomes suspicious. It seems like you are the one dissuading him from doing that. I, for one, I always remind my husband. Sometime 2 weeks ago, I was just in the office. The spirit spoke to me. I told him, have you called Uncle Emeka? Call Uncle Emeka, check up on him. And lo and behold, he called Uncle Emeka. Uncle Emeka was terminally ill. He called me back and told me, babe, you are blessed. Thank you so much. I'm happy to have a wife like you. I was like, we have to send Uncle Emeka money. It's not when he dies that we'll now contribute for burial. Let us gather money and send to him to take care of himself. That's what a wife should be. Not the one that would complain that you are spending such a long time with your mother on the phone. Is your mother your wife, or you are going to marry your mother? No. A man shouldn't have to hide to talk to his mother or to take care of his mother. Let's not forget that no matter how much you love somebody, it's still someone's mother that can die for that person. I take myself for example. I can kill for my husband. Yes, I can kill for my husband. But who am I more likely to die for? Like if there's a bullet coming now, who am I more likely to jump in front of a bullet for? It's my child. That's the gospel truth. Yes. The person that is more, but tell me, ladies, come closer, let us talk. Can you take a bullet for your husband? You will sooner take a bullet for your child. That is nature. So that woman that can lay her life down for your husband, you should allow your husband to reciprocate love to her. Don't come between that relationship. My fifth point is, do not be a flame fanner. In Nigeria, we call it, do not add salt and pepper. You know when something is already spicy, okay? When a meal is spicy, and you now come and add salt and pepper, means you make a situation worse. Listen, you and your husband are related by covenant, but a man and his family are related by blood. Bam. So when your husband is having issues with his sister, with his brother, with his mother, with his father, do not be that person that would make it worse. Stay neutral. Be wise. As a woman, you should be the one to tame your man when he's hot. Do not ignite or provoke his worst impulses. So when your husband is raving and ranting about what his sister did that he doesn't like, you have to watch your tongue. You cannot be the one to aggravate the issue, because they will reconcile. Mother and son will reconcile. So when your husband is having an issue with his family, you now start keeping malice with his family for him. I pity you. Do not take your husband's fight with his family personally, because family fights and family reconcile. When they reconcile, they will forgive their brother, they will love him. But they will not love you back. You have to be careful. Even if your husband is having issues with his sister, still call her. Say, sis, I want to check up on you. Don't even act like you know what is happening. Some wives, when their husbands are having problems, they will start keeping malice with the family. They will start fighting the family with their husband. That is a stupid move, because the families will always reconcile and they will become family. So I'm even on the path of giving excuses. I make excuses for my husband's family. If my husband comes and says, this, my auntie, for example, if my husband comes and says, I did this to my auntie walked me out, I will tell him, that thing you did, if you did it to me, if somebody did it to me, not only would I walk you out, I will slap you. I will slap you on top of it. And he will be like, what side are you on? That is what to do. Don't come in and say, you start shouting. Your voice will even be higher than your husband's voice. That is not the wise thing to do. If you cannot take sides with his family, which is the safer thing to do, at least stay neutral. Advise him. If my husband complains about my mother, I say, she's old though. That's how old people behave. You can't go and now start telling him, what nonsense? Why would she do that? That I can't tolerate that. No, that is not the way to handle issues with your in-laws. And let me tell you, anybody that is advising you, if your in-laws do this, you give them fire for fire. That is not the best thing to do. I'm sure you guys followed the case of Sona Aku some months back. Her and her husband were completely in love, but just because of in-laws issue, that marriage broke. It is always a better idea, a wiser idea, to stay in good terms with your in-laws. Anything that will bring hatred or enmity, you have to avoid it by all means, or else you know that you have done your best and those people are just not willing to love you. Then you leave the rest for God. My sixth point on how to maintain a lovely relationship with your in-laws, with your mother-in-law, your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law, is to buy gifts. That is my strategy. I'm such a gift buyer. I'm the kind of person that if my mother-in-law, if I'm wearing, last week I just bought a chain, a lovely chain. I've been trying to buy that chain. I just came back from work. My mother was like, baby, I love this chain. I removed it and gave her. Mommy, take. I'll go and buy that one. You mustn't be like me, but at least you can't stay 1 year. You haven't given anything to your mother-in-law. No matter how wealthy you think she is, people love gifts. People love to enjoy things that they didn't work for. It's human nature. So once in a while, it doesn't have to be a car or a house or a vacation in the Bahamas. It could just be as little as a perfume. It just be as little as a powder, a bag. Show love by gift buying. Your husband has a younger sister that is still in school. You could buy her a top, a shoe, dash her things. Show her you love her. Gift buying is a love language that we cannot ignore, especially when it comes to women. So that's another fantastic way of keeping a good relationship with your in-laws. You could just send your father-in-law airtime. You send him airtime, you say, Daddy, I love you. As little gestures like that go a really long way to keep a good relationship. My last point, but definitely not the least, is to forgive. As I mentioned earlier, in every relationship, there are bound to be misunderstandings. There are bound to be what you didn't like that happened. So you cannot keep it in your mind. Remember when your mother did this at that party at Shogunle in 1804? Remember how your mother treated me? You can't do that. Because even your own mother offends you. Your own mother still gets on your nerves. Sometimes you're like, if this one was not my mother, I would have torn her to pieces. Do you understand? So just as you are quick and willing to forgive your mother, you should also be quick and willing to forgive your mother-in-law, your sister-in-laws. Cut them some slack. Don't keep it in your mind. Don't hate them because of one incident. Don't hate them. Learn to forgive them. I'm sure there's some things your own family did that your husband does not like, so, but he might just have swallowed it without even mentioning it to you. So let us always cut some rope, cut some slacks when we are dealing with our in-laws. So guys, these are my points. If you have any other points you want to add as to how to maintain a good, cordial and warm relationship with your in-laws, drop in the comment section. Don't forget, we are Africans. We are not we are not Japanese or Germans that everybody can stay on their own. You don't even see your in-law. At the end of the day, your mother-in-law will go to the old people's home and stay. No, this is Africa, and there is bound to be interference from extended family. So as a wise woman, as a smart woman, you have to choose your battles. You have to know when to talk and when not to talk. You have to know when to address issues and when to let go. You have to learn how to manage your family and manage your in-laws. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and drop your comments. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. See you in my next video. Bye.